Hello and welcome back to Higher Sense with Haz, and today's review is going to be Narcotic Delight by Initio. Narcotic Delight by Initio is an oriental gourmand fragrance, and I'll go through the notes with you now. In the top we have cherry, black pepper and pink pepper, and then in the mid we have cognac, hédione and rose, and then in the base we have tobacco, vanilla, tonka bean, cedar and patchouli. This is a cherry-led fragrance with warm spices. It's warm, it's sweet and it's seductive. In the top you get that hit of cherry. It's a very boozy, sweet cherry, and you also get black pepper mainly in the top, which gives it a warm, spicy kind of note, and it just gives the fragrance an initial hot blast. The cognac, which comes through in the mid, it complements the top notes, and it just gives a nice warmth and boozy element to that cherry spice. And there's also some nice rose just sitting there in the background, which gives a bit of sweetness and a soft, subtle touch. The rose and the cognac in the mid gives it some depth, and there's some hédione in the mid as well, which is a very interesting little ingredient which I'll describe in just a second. The vanilla in the base, it envelops the fragrance and it gives it a smooth, sweet, gourmand element. The touch of sweet tobacco in the base just gives it that little smoky nuance, and with the woods gives it a lovely base for the other notes to rest upon. The vanilla in the base here, it complements the cherry, the tobacco and the rose, and it just gives it a sweet, sexy element. Now the hédione note in the mid, Initio actually list this on their website as 50% hédione. Now hédione has been linked to the brain receptors and also with your mood element and also your libido. So I think they've put this in this fragrance just to try and get in your head, mess with your head, bring your mood up, make you happy, make you feel good, make you feel positive. And to be perfectly honest, I think it does work in this fragrance. When I smell this fragrance, I don't know what hédione smells like, but certainly when I spray this on myself and wear it, it makes us feel quite empowered, energetic. It is sexy, it is sensual, and it just gives me an overall really good masculine vibe. Haven't got a bit carried away going through the notes and describing what the fragrance is like. I haven't yet shown you the bottle. The bottle is very nice. It's kind of a rubberized feel. It's a matte colour. I think it may be a dark navy or a dark blue. I'm not sure because I am colourblind. It's got the nice little Initio plaque there. It's got the name of the fragrance on the top, Narcotic Delight. It's a 90ml bottle. The lid does click into place. It's a fairly weighty lid. It's non-magnetic though, which is unfortunate. But I'll spray the atomizer, and this is what the cloud of fragrance should look like. Oh, there you go. Sorry, I haven't used it for a while, and some things need a few pumps before you get a squirt, if you know what I mean. This 90ml bottle, not 100, it's an eau de parfum concentration, and it comes in at £245 for 90ml on Initio's own website. Now you can get it elsewhere for a little bit cheaper, and I have seen it in the 175 to 190 range, which would make it good value. At this price though, £245, that works out as £2.72 per milliliter for a niche fragrance from a top brand. I think it's decent value. Some of you may know this, but Initio is the sister company to Parfums de Marly. Parfums de Marly being a very top-end niche brand which is well established and do great fragrances, as I'm sure I'll go on to review more in time. But Initio, the sister brand, I think some of these fragrances are slept upon, and the quality is as good as the Parfums de Marly brand, which would make sense. But there's a lot of good little Initio fragrances this being one of my personal favourites. I would say the top notes last for an hour and a half. The cherry does carry throughout the fragrance, and then the mid comes in at that point, maybe an hour and a half in, and then those elements give a nice roundness to the fragrance, give it a little bit of depth, a little bit of body, and the mid lasts for a good 3 or 4 hours. I would say the base comes in probably around the 3.5 hour mark. That's when you get the full patchouli and woody elements with the tobacco and the vanilla, which creeps in maybe a touch early. It just seeps through the mid, and it really does give this fragrance a lovely sexy edge. This fragrance is a decent projector. I would say that you get a nice 2.5 feet of projection, which is enough for what you want to use this for. The longevity on this fragrance is really good. I get a solid 8 hours out of this, which would get you through the working day, which is my measuring stick. But I tell you one thing, I certainly wouldn't be using this during the working day, because I wouldn't get any work done.
I am aware of the effect I have on women.
This is quite a deep, dense fragrance. Apart from the projection, it leaves a nice sillage bubble and trail behind you. The sillage on this is very good, and people will certainly notice when you're coming and going. So in passing in close proximity, this will certainly get you noticed, which is the purpose of this fragrance. For me, this fragrance comes across as it's sensual, it's tantalising, it's infatuating, and it's very addictive. The notes in here are very high quality. There's a lot of gourmand elements, there's some warm spice in there, there's a lovely touch of wood, and all in all, I think the notes in this complement each other very, very well. This fragrance is a definite compliment puller and an attention grabber. For me, this fragrance, the heady one in it, definitely has an effect on me. After you've been wearing it for a while, it just it brings you to life. It gives you that rush of blood. It makes you feel warm. It makes you feel energetic. And it reminds you what it's like to be a full-bodied man. This fragrance for me, it just invokes pure carnal pleasure. So where to wear this fragrance? I would definitely say you could wear this during the autumn and the winter. It's a dense, heavy fragrance. You could wear it in the spring with light sprays. I don't think I'd recommend it for the summer. I just think it would be too much. The amount of sprays that I'd use for this, 3 to 4 sprays is going to be enough to get you the longevity and the projection that you're after. Where to wear this fragrance? If it's not already obvious, I'll start with the non-obvious element. Evening socials. You could use it on a relaxed evening, maybe with females if you're a male, or hey, maybe with everybody. To be honest, this fragrance is so powerful, I think it'll grab man, woman or beast, let's say. Also, you could obviously wear this on a date night. I definitely think this is a date night fragrance. It's meant for dates, it's meant to grab attention, it's meant to literally grab people by the throat and drag them towards you. That's how powerful this is. It is beast-like. It's not subtle, and it doesn't just hint for people to be intrigued and to come and speak to you and to think, oh, what's that I can smell? It literally lights a fire in the brain. You will get the attention, so make sure you're ready when you wear this, because all eyes will be on you, and that's exactly what I like. So in conclusion, Narcotic Delight by Initio. I would say that this fragrance, it's like a drug. It excites you, it floods the brain with pleasure, and it leaves you wanting more. Is this sex in a bottle? I would say it's satisfaction guaranteed.